So let's actually run this to show you guys how the program works. Go over to terminal and we'll run the second problem. And let's enter a few segments. Let's say the car enters at segment 2 and exits at segment 6. So then the largest possible vehicle that can pass through is the bike, because somewhere in between 2 and 6, somewhere in between segments 2 and segment 6, the largest possible vehicle that can pass through is a bike. Therefore, the bike is the largest possible vehicle that can pass through all of these segments. Let's try to run it again. Let's say we do 0 and 1. The largest possible vehicle that can pass through is a car. Well, let's also say that we enter at segment 8 and exit at segment 5. Not possible. That is not valid. So great. Let's just do the quick run through of the code that I mentioned to you guys before one more time. So what we do is we ask for the segments, and then we get the segments in the form of a string, cut off the trailing enter, and then put them into an array. So then we check if the entry, if the first entry in the array is greater than the second entry in the array, output that is not valid. Or if the entry has more elements than 2, put that is not valid. And then what we do is we create a new empty array called new entries, and we take our entry variable up here and we call .map to do something to every element in the array. And we pass it into the value block, which is going to be our variable. And we say value.toI, which takes our strings and converts them into integer values. And we push them into our new entries array, which has to be instantiated outside of this block of code, because otherwise it would get overwritten every time. And then after that, we create 3 new variables: the entry segment, which is equal to our integer value at index 0.0, and the exit segment, which is equal to the index value of 1. And then we take both of these 2 variables and create a range out of them. So we're going to say, so for example, if this was 3 and this was 5, our entry and exit range would be, 3 and 5. Okay, 3 and 5. Entry range would be 3, 4, and 5. Right? And then we call the toA method to convert that range object into an array. And then what we do is we create an instance variable that is equal to the values of the largest vehicle that can pass through each segment. And we map our range of values to those indexed values to actually get the largest possible vehicle that can pass through. And then we output to our screen the largest vehicle .min, because that array, the largest possible vehicle is that we're going to have multiple values for that. But we only want the smallest one in the bunch, because we only want the smallest car that can actually pass through. Or the largest vehicle that can actually pass through. But the largest vehicle that can actually pass through is going to be the smallest vehicle. So that's how you build that program. It's a little more complex, but it's good to see the code in action and get a feel for it. Feel free to try this on your own and get more practice, or revisit it as many times as you need. Remember, it's all about practice with programming. The more hours you put in, the better you're going to get, the more fluid you will be. I'll catch you guys in the next video.